What if the number that determines whether you get a mortgage and what interest rate you pay has a mistake in it? And what if that mistake has been sitting there for months and nobody told you? I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Today, I want to talk about something that affects almost every financial decision you make, and most people don't give it a second thought until it's too late. We're talking about your credit report, and specifically why in 2026, more people than ever are pushing back on what's showing up in theirs. Complaints about credit reporting errors and debt collectors have surged nationwide, and I don't mean a little uptick. We're talking about a significant increase in people saying, wait, that's not right. That's not my account. That balance is wrong. That collection was paid years ago. So here's the big question. Why is this happening now? A few things are going on at once. We're seeing a major increase in errors like incorrect balances, duplicate accounts, outdated or unverifiable collections, and late payments that simply don't match account history. At the same time, lenders are getting stricter. The margin for error is smaller than it used to be, so accuracy matters more right now than it has in a long time. And here's what most people don't understand about the credit report. It's not just a record of your past. It's a tool that lenders use to judge risk. It determines whether you get approved. It determines your interest rate and has a direct impact on your monthly payment and the total amount of interest you'll pay over the life of the loan. Let me put a number on that for you. We've seen situations where a credit score is 40 or 50 points lower than it should be because of an error. That kind of difference can move someone from one interest rate tier to another. Over 30 years on a home loan, that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Not because you did anything wrong, but because someone else's automated system made a mistake and nobody corrected it. So what do you do about it? The first thing most people do is pull a Credit Karma or a similar app. And I want to be clear, that's a fine starting point. Those apps give you a general picture, but here's where people run into trouble. The score you see on Credit Karma is not always the score a mortgage lender is going to look at. Lenders use different scoring models, and the gap between what you see and what they see can be surprising. Go to rsrlinks.com/FICO. That's rsrlinks.com/FICO. That'll show you the score lenders actually pull, not just an estimate. Now, I'm not usually a cynical person, but when it comes to credit bureaus, I have to be honest with you about something. Credit bureaus are for-profit companies. And here's what most people never stop to think about. They actually make more money when your score is lower. Why? Because creditors pay the bureaus to access consumer credit data. And when your score is lower, creditors know they can charge you a higher interest rate. That makes you more valuable to them as a customer. So there's a financial incentive built into the system that does not point in your direction. I'm not saying there's some big conspiracy. I'm just saying the bureaus are not on your team, and you should not assume they are motivated to clean up your file on your behalf. That leads to the bigger problem. Credit bureaus don't automatically fix mistakes. They rely on automated systems. They rely on information that comes back from creditors, and their verification process has real limitations. That means errors can stay on your report for a long time unless they're challenged in the right way, at the right time, through the right channels. There's another problem. With going it alone on credit disputes, disputing the wrong thing in the wrong way at the wrong time can actually make things worse. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. Timing matters a lot when it comes to paying or settling accounts. Some accounts need multiple rounds of disputes and different approaches depending on the creditor. And if you don't see the rules, you can accidentally reset the clock on something that is about to fall off your report anyway. I had a client, let's call them Maria, who was about 6 months away from buying a home. She had done everything right for years, been very responsible, but she pulled her credit and found a collection account that wasn't hers. She jumped on it herself, disputed it through one of the apps, and ended up getting it flagged in a way that actually delayed her purchase by another 4 months while the investigation ran its course. Not because she was wrong, she was right. The account was an error because the process matters as much as the content of the dispute. Here's the bottom line. Your credit report is not some passive document sitting in a filing cabinet somewhere. It's a living, active part of your financial picture. Errors show up. Outdated information stays on longer than it should, and the system is not set to catch and fix those things on your behalf. That's your job or the job of someone who knows how the system works. If you're thinking about a mortgage, whether you're buying, refinancing, or just planning ahead, your credit profile is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of it. Strategy beats rate always. But you can't execute a strategy if the numbers you're working from are wrong. Check your score, know what's there, and if something doesn't look right, get help from someone who understands the process. The tools, rsrlinks.com/FICO, rsrlinks.com/FICO to see what lenders actually see, and rsrlinks.com/keysteps, rsrlinks.com/keysteps to get your whole financial house in order. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free.